Hello, my name is Daniel Greenberg, and I am a postdoctoral researcher at the Kansas University Center on Developmental Disabilities. I have brown hair, brown eyes, a beard, and glasses. Today, I am going to present on agency and career goals, development of self-determination through telehealth-based career design intervention research for the ARP Research Day at Autism CARES 2023. This research comes from a greater project overseen by the PI, Dr. Evan Dean, and Center Director, Dr. Carrie Sjogren. I look forward to receiving feedback and suggestions that will help our research team as we transition more fully to analyzing and reporting our findings. The research I'm discussing was developed under a grant from the National Institute on Disability, Independent Living, and Rehabilitation Research. The Self-Determined Career Design Model, or SDCDM, is an intervention model that helps facilitators teach people to make choices and decisions about setting a career goal, to develop action plans for career goals, to self-monitor and self-evaluate progress toward career goals, and to adjust their goal or plan as needed. The model is divided into 3 phases, as represented by the thought bubbles above the people on the arrows and the arrows themselves. In phase 1, we set a career-related goal. In phase 2, we create an action plan to achieve that goal. And in phase 3, we reflect on what we have achieved and adjust our goal or plan. The overall project is more broadly examining the impact of the SDCDM to promote employment, self-determination, career adaptability, and decision-making outcomes for autistic adults and adults with IDD. Here, I will focus on 2 things. 1, if a person with lived experience can deliver the SDCDM just like any other facilitator. 2, what preliminary information do we have on changes in self-determination for participants who self-reported being autistic? Something which lines up with my personal research interests. This project is rooted in inclusive research. Half of our intervention facilitators are people with lived experience. Of these 10, 3 are autistic. In addition, I am a neurodivergent voice on the research team. We regularly dialogue with self-advocate facilitators. They presented with us at the National AAIDD conference recently, and their insights have led to refinements and additions to project materials throughout. This research is ongoing, so there are still plenty of analyses that need to be done in the coming months. We are able to examine 3 of 6 fidelity of implementation constructs through our fidelity measure evaluating what happens in SDCDM sessions. We consider adherence to the intervention, quality of delivery, and participant responsiveness. We have 3 sets of spline functions. These scatter plots show the best fit curves for fidelity scores by adherence to the intervention, quality of delivery, and participant responsiveness. Blue represents traditional facilitators. Red represents facilitators with lived experience. Our findings so far suggest that facilitators with lived experience are just as effective as facilitators without lived experience at delivering and supporting participants through the SDCDM, which is what we were hoping to see. Furthermore, fidelity is generally above the established cut score for mastery, indicating that all facilitators are meeting expectations we have for ideal implementation. Last, here's a plot of the self-determination inventory scores for the 4 participants in our first 2 cohorts who self-reported being autistic. Each line represents a different participant. Between the start and end of participation, on average, their self-determination increased by 8 points on our scale, which is out of 100, from 0 to 99. We were not necessarily expecting to see any changes in self-determination over the course of the intervention, but we saw some movement here. Changes ranged from a decrease of 4 points to an increase of more than 28. Right now, it looks like that any changes in self-determination for autistic participants are neutral to positive, but we will see what the final data tells us. I am happy to answer questions or inquiries regarding what I've presented or anything else related to the overall project. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to sharing more with you all in DC.